Hello, this is Mark at Mid-Valley Greenhouse. Today we're going to take an adventure through the plants so you guys can see what my plants look like, and maybe yours look better and maybe they don't. Let's go look at some varieties. So here's one my friend Sherry did for us. She crossed Matina with a excellent open pollinated variety called Chocolate Stripes. And what we did is we made it earlier. Very good taste retain. So we haven't named this one yet. It's in its third generation. These seeds I save here will be the fourth. And we notice how everything's smoothed out real well now. The elements are moving in the plants like they should. The root zones have warmed up. So here we have our what we just call back cross, and you can see how it's set fruit. Really nice. It's a cross of an Amish heirloom that I came across called Dester. Very, very good flavor, but it was stingy for me. So we crossed it and fixed it up, and the flavor's good on these. So this is one. It's F5 or F6. I can't remember. I have to look at the tags. And here's one that you guys haven't seen yet. This was a cross of Chapman and Bloody Butcher, and this one's real prolific. It's a saladette size, maybe a 4th of July size tomato on regular leaf. Very prolific, very good taste. So we're calling that small red right now. I posted a picture of these beauties last night. This was yellow brandywine and Matina, and this is an F3. So far, they had only been red and orange. This is yellow, but it's turning orange slowly, so we'll see what happens. Almost looks more orange today than yellow, like it has. And these are all what we call round red, and in this generation, it's not quite as round. We're going back to the beef shape look, but it's very early. They're already starting to ripen, and they're on par with 4th of July and Early Girl. Another family of round red that we're working on. Very prolific, very nice tomatoes. And last year, the flavor was excellent. Of note, we always add a little bit more Epsom salt than the instructions call for us, because we always end up with this magnesium deficiency in the beginning of the year. I always start out following the instructions and adjust as we go through the season, but it's always adding a little more Epsom salt. So some of you may want to keep that in mind if you're using the Master Blend mixes. These are old school, and we have small pink in here, and that's another family of Bloody Butcher Dester cross that we did. And they're starting to ripen too. Very good fruit set. You know, in this row over here, I pulled out the seed collection this year. I've grown somewhere around, I believe, about 1,000 varieties, and I pulled out 25 or 30 of my favorites from the past. And I looked at some, and I just wondered why I had never grown that tomato again. But this is really fun. We got a Stump of the World. That's the old Quisenberry favorite. Seth's Brandywine. That's it can be called the Quisenberry strain. He found it from Doris Seth in Tennessee. And we have Calyx Brandywine, which a guy named Camo Chef, we'll call him, since he likes to use that name, found it at a farm stand in Pennsylvania and thought it had unique qualities, and it was just labeled Brandywine. Yugoslavin, we have some Abe Lincoln, Thessaloniki, a Greek tomato. Rico, this was gifted to me by Mr. McCavick, the old dentist here in Wasilla. It's an orange tomato, and he said it used to just have a name or a number. Big Beef is our control for testing out these heirlooms and seeing how they grow. I got Marisol Purple Bradka collection from Germany. Syrian Giant was given to me by McCavick. Magnum Red Beefsteak. Rebel Yell, there is a good tomato. That is one of my favorite pink beefsteaks ever. And we use it as breeding stock. It bred back to Matzi Express created an awesome hybrid that we're going to redo every year. My favorite Chapman Elgin Pink. This was gifted to me from a lady in Florida, a tomato friend, and it's a good one too. Mariana's Peace, super ugly tomatoes, awesome taste. And Uvel, a Russian, like delicious. I got Red Barn, suggested to me by the late Dr. Carolyn Mell, the old Cornell University microbiology professor. She wrote the book 100 Favorite Heirlooms for the American Table. I think that was the name, but the lady trialed about 4,000 varieties of tomatoes, and she knew her tomatoes, but she's something to ever have discussions with. And this is a hybrid we're growing called Gamsel. Very good tomato. So anyway, there's your little tour through the experimental greenhouse. I hope you enjoyed.